I think the question that everybody's asking right now is, why are y'all still married? Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. Red Table Talk Part 2, T.I. and Tiny. Wow. What an interesting 28 minutes. First of all, I'm actually glad that Tiny had a space to receive therapy, okay? Because that's basically what it was to me. Seems like this is the first time that Tiny has ever been able to speak publicly about her feelings, and I think it gave her a sense of pride, and just she felt very powerful in this moment. Like, I'm gonna tell these folks what's really going on and what really hurt me. And I honestly, I don't care what nobody says. I do feel bad for Tiny because the whole situation, I got some points I wanted to hit on, but I mainly want to talk about, well, not mainly talk about, I want to talk about how when they were talking, Tiny made mention of controlling the power thing, which we already expected with T.I. and Tiny. We already expected that from what he said and how he is. We already, like, even how he treats his daughter, the conversation about the Hyman Gate, like, we knew that. So when it came out that, you know, when he went to jail for whatever time period, I think it was almost a year, 11 months, like, he was doing things and she was just following, and then when he disappeared and went to jail, she had to find her own independence. She had to change things to work. She had to step up and do it for her family. And there's so many women that do that, and men call it holding it down. And then when the man comes back, it's just like they want to take that power. And no, ma'am, you can't do that. You left me. You left me. So it does not get a chance to be the same. You left me. I don't care, oh, it's got me that. No, you left doing whatever you did. You left me. So you're not going to come back with that power and changing stuff. And Tiny had to find her own way. And men do this controlling stuff. This was nothing but patriarchy on full display. And I'm pretty sure a lot of women can relate, because I've heard this story so many times, even from my own mother. When the man is controlling the money, they have power and control over the woman, because they can make decisions and stuff without necessarily talking to them. And that's why now when women finding jobs and working and making more than men, they don't have to sit up here and put up with that mess no more. Like, I'm not putting up with my great-great-great-great-grandmama was dealing with, or my great-great-grandmama. I'm not dealing with that anymore. I'm not going through what my mama went through. Like, you ain't gonna be working, making all the money, and making all the decisions. No, man, I'm gonna have a job too. I'm gonna make a little bit of money. I might never get paid the same as you, because, you know, the gap when it comes to the gender pay gap. But girl, I'm making some money to be able to make some decisions too. And a lot of men can't deal with that. So they try to tell their women, oh girl, I got everything. Listen to how she said that even when Tiny had said, well, I got to take care of my family too. He said he want to do all that because he wanted that power, and that money was power. And for so long, men have that has been the only thing. That's why I can't stand to hear, oh, men are supposed to be the breadwinner, men are supposed to provide. No. Both parties are supposed to provide. If it's 2 parents, 3 parents, 4 parents, everybody should provide. And you got to be very careful when you are allowing somebody to have that much power and control over you, because some of these folks don't do well. And we see that. We see that with Tiny. They talked about, you know, I think T.I. talked about, you know, stuff being sensitive. And he said sensitivity is in the eye of the beholder. Like, a lot of the stuff that he was saying just absolutely made no sense. You can really tell that T.I. really don't have any sense. He just knows a bunch of big words, but he has no understanding of the meaning of them. I mean, we've already talked about him not even knowing what patriarchy means, and he's asking women to teach him how to respect women, which is the craziest ish I've ever heard. And he just wanted everything to go back to being normal after he had been in jail for so long, and it's just unrealistic to think that. It's unrealistic for you to think that all this stuff is going to be the same when you come back. No, ma'am. You left us. We had to survive without you. And I think he didn't like that. And he didn't like a powerful, assertive Tiny. He didn't like that. And, you know, Tiny probably tried to, you know, make him feel better and tone it down a little bit, but it still wasn't good enough for him. And that made him want to find everybody else. When he kept talking about the grass being greener on the other side, every time the conversation came up about you know, well, you consented to this. This is what you signed up for. No, consent is ever changing. Just because I agreed to come home with you doesn't mean I'm agreeing to go to bed with you. And just because I'm in the bed with you doesn't mean I'm agreeing to do this and that and so on and so forth. Consent forever changes. That's how I know you don't know anything while you over here trying to check virginity and all that. That's how I know you don't know anything, because if you knew stuff, you would know about consent. That always changes. I can do something, say, you know what, I tried that, did not like that. I tried, you know, letting you pay all the bills, and I see where that landed. You going to jail, and then I have to pick up the pieces and stuff. So now I'm going to make sure I got my own so I can be able to provide for my family when you can't provide, because we see that you are able to do whatever you want to do. And this is the same conversation that's going on to Married to Medicine. I'm about to review that too, because Contessa is dealing there with her husband, Scott. And they're like, patriarchy has done a number on us. And I'm really seeing that now. And I don't want to be around anybody that tries to protect patriarchy and keep it. It's just not doing us any good at all. Listening to their conversation, they often talked about love. And you hear this a lot, especially with older generations, and probably the generation, like our generation now, is that we mash pain and love as the same thing. And it's like, you always hear, I remember listening like to older folks, when me and me talking about, you know, why when people ask me, why y'all get married? What made you choose her or whatever? And they just smiling at me like, oh my God, yes. And they said, well, she just was there for me. She was just there for me. It's never because I loved her. She made me feel special. Like she just made me feel important. Like it's never, like feeling is just this. We have to see an amount of pain for it to be, okay, this is love level. Like, you have went through so much of this with me, you must love me. No, that's not love. That's not love at all. That's not love. And every time they talked about like staying, you can tell the difference when Tiny talks about it. She sounds like she found the love of her life, and women have been conditioned to believe that. Versus him, he's just like, well, you know, I don't feel like starting no more. I feel like that would hurt me if that was something that my partner would say, that, well, I just don't want to start over no more. Like, I'm just good. Like, I'm happy with what I got. Like, no, that shouldn't be your reasoning for wanting to stay in a marriage, that you don't feel like starting over no more. Like, what? And what's even crazy is that Tiny didn't even sign no prenup. So she can technically leave him and take half of his coin, because even him laughing about, oh, I can say I never lied at this red table, it wasn't funny. And honestly, Jada, let me tell you, I love you, but I'm gonna tell you again, sis, this kumbaya, all is good, thank you for our food, say our grace type of, I got this Harriet Tubman scarf on. It's just, girl, I ain't you tired? Imagine how tired we are. Like, I feel like you coddled T.I. the whole time. Like, even you saying, T.I., you wasn't wrong, and you wasn't wrong. No, T.I. was wrong. He was wrong for a lot of stuff. And you can tell how broken Tiny is in that moment, because sis was talking and she did want to shut up because she had so much to say, because she's never going to have the power. Even when she was talking about control, he was trying to control her, talking about him being controlling. Like, it was just so much. And I felt for her, because I know that T.I. is complete trash. I just know he's like, I just know he is. The way he was speaking and cutting her off, like, she didn't say anything during the Hyman case. She respected the fact that that's not her biological daughter. She didn't speak on it too much. She just, entered and took up for him. But when it came for her to talk about her own feelings and how she felt, she had to reword the phrase. She had to reword how she said control. And you said it the first time, but the control worked in that moment because he was able to get you to change it to something else when you said it right the first time. T.I. was talking about the memories and stuff that he's had with her, and just like, oh, I don't have any memories. It's just, these are good loving memories? And do Tiny have good loving memories too? Does she have good loving memories with you too? It seems like she got a lot of pain that she's holding on to, and you measure her level of love for you by the pain that she received. And that's not right. And the reason why I kind of like side-eyed Jada is because, and the mama could have just honestly left because she wasn't, girl, it's just like, girl, she can go. She can go. Jada, when you're dealing with somebody like T.I., you're going to have to be a little bit more assertive. This kumbaya, love is everything. I get tired of that. I don't know what it is about folks and this positive stuff. And oh my God, I hate somebody that's always positive because it's false. You are allowed to feel negative things, bad things, without like harming folks. Like I'll say that. But everything ain't good. Like sometimes I want to say, well, cheer up. No, bitch, I don't want to be cheer up. I'm late on this bill and I ain't got no damn money. And the payday on loan folks would even loan me no money. Now I got to go and pawn something and I probably gonna have no money to get it back. Like that type of stuff. Like sometimes people need to vent. Sometimes people need to feel hurt or something. But somebody that's always like positive, oh, just everything is just rain. It's not. And that's what I get from Jada. It's just like, and she talked about her relationship. She said, this is the same thing me and Will went through. And women have done this and it's expected of them to, a man can do whatever they want. They can like support their dreams. Baby, this stuff is so real that it's been movies written about it, books written about it, plays written about it. Recent example, Wait to Exhale, I think it was the movie where Angela Bassett or whatever the movie Angela Bassett put up when she burnt the car up. Like she did everything. I was his secretary. This was going off because she had gave this man everything. And it still was not enough. Like that is what Tiny is going through. She gave this man everything. She gave him the ability to be able to control her life financially, all of that. And it still was not enough. And even when he left, instead of him just, and I'm not saying that he didn't respect her, when he came back and seen that everything was still good and held down, but it's just like he wanted to come back and assume that like that dominance, and it's just like, no girl, like this is where we're going. And I guarantee he was just not receptive to that. I just guarantee you. And women have been just expected that a man can just do whatever, like they can go to jail, they can do their career, they can do this and that, but the moment a woman wants to do anything, it's just like, oh no, you got to talk, we got to talk about this first, I don't know about this. The same thing that's happened on Married to Medicine with Dr. Contessa and Scott, the same conversation. Like, man can go and find his other job, change practices, do this and go to school, and the woman's supposed to stay at home, take care of the kids, and do all the other mess. And it's just like, no, man, it's supposed to be 50-50. There's a documentary on Netflix called Explain, and they talked about patriarchy, misogyny, I don't know the name of it. But they had Hillary Clinton on there, and she was telling a story. I know how y'all feel about Hillary Clinton saying, but she was telling a story about it was told back in the day, and it's probably still now, that women should not put no pictures up. If they want to excel in the corporate world, they don't need to have any pictures of their family up because they'll be seen as weak. And you know, like they're not going to do anything, they're not going to excel, they're going to be too busy. But a man having a picture of his family looks like a provider and a good father and all that, and that's good qualities to find in somebody working in the corporate world. But they said women are not allowed to, like, they shouldn't be having pictures and stuff. And that's how the gender like pay gap happened. They say it's a big like difference between a woman with kids and a woman without kids. Because a woman with kids look like they're weak, they ain't gonna be able to do all these things, but versus a woman who don't have kids, they still won't make them the same much money as a man, but they make like a little bit more than a woman with kids. And it's just very sad. It's very sad. And I don't like it. That's why I was ready to just do this to Heavenly Lips when she was talking about a woman supposed to stay at home and take care of kids. No, both parents should be ready to take care of their kids any given time. And it doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I feel sorry for Tiny. I hate that she had to go through all of that, but it's T.I. I don't think he got anything out of that. I think that if anybody got something out of it, was Tiny. She was able to speak her piece in the safe space that Jada provided, but she did not hold she did not hold T.I. accountable as much as she like it. She just didn't. And it just seemed like she was just so easy on him. And T.I. is not an easy person. You got to tell him, like, T.I., that's fucked up. Like, you just got to let him know. Like, you got to scold him and make him seem like, girl, that shit is fucked up. That's garbage, T.I. Like, you can't laugh with him. Because the moment you make T.I. laugh, the moment he realized that the situation ain't that bad. Like, it's okay, Steve, you're laughing about it. And you can't, because he's a conniving scoundrel, and I just cannot take him serious. Tiny girl, I hope one day you find whatever it is that you want from T.I., because I don't think you're getting it right now. But that's all I got about this this interview, or whatever you want to call it. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments, girl. Tell me how y'all felt about this episode, and check out that documentary on Explained on Netflix. It is really good. I'll talk y'all later on tonight. Bye.
Oh, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more.